Oh, it's probably a good time to actually tell people who I am. So my name is Matt Hirschberger.
Matt is inspiring and great, and I would definitely give him a follow. In here, he talks about how there's so many dystopias we can watch or read today, but it doesn't seem like there are as many utopias. And so I'm going to recommend the one great utopia I know, and I'd be happy to hear about ones that you would have to recommend. Maybe some of you guessed this one before I even said it, knowing my proclivities, but I would say Aldous Huxley's The Island, because if you are into psychedelics, it is a Bible for what the world could be, because there is something called mashka and is some unspecified psychedelic, and people use it generally in ritual at certain times in their life. And for me, it's a vision of the world to come, that when anyone turns 18 or so, they do psychedelics with their priest or their imam or their great aunt who is great at holding spaces for this, or whoever, and then you do it again at 35. And there are certain points in your life where you do this in a safe way, in ritual, for a purpose. And as Huxley said, you probably only need to do psychedelics like 10 times in your life. That being said, about Utopias, he said this was the hardest book he ever had to write, because writing about Utopias is very hard. They're not that exciting. They're Utopias. They're generally really nice. And so he had to introduce these kind of bad characters just to make it into a real book. But that's it. That's all I got for Utopias. There's Sir Thomas More's Utopia, where the word mostly comes from, but you can't quite be sure if he wasn't just doing a big satire of what the world or should be or shouldn't be, and something about the Catholic Church. You don't quite know. A lot of things that are utopias turn out to be dystopian totalitarian states, which apparently is what Plato's ideal city is, run by a bunch of kindly scientists who tell everyone else what to do. You can imagine how that one would actually work out in real life. The last thing, I do have a collection of utopian literature over there that I've barely opened, so maybe it's time to crack that open and see some ideas about utopia, but I would love to hear some of yours.